Have the Kansas City Chiefs just found the game that could change the course of their season? Or are the Jacksonville Jaguars ready to show that the AFC throne has new owners? Monday night in Jacksonville isn't just a game on the schedule. It's a mirror, a test of identity, a night where mistakes weigh double and composure is a luxury few have. The Jaguars arrive in high spirits with a 3-1 record, an aggressive defense, and an offense that has learned to control the clock. They're playing confident football, forcing turnovers, stealing possessions, attacking the ground game, and pressuring every inch of the field. And on the other side is the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that carries the burden of being the benchmark, the target of the entire league, the symbol of excellence in the Mahomes era. But this matchup isn't about magic. It's about fundamentals, about execution, about leaving no room for error. And before the ball goes up under the lights at Everbank Stadium, a message to everyone in Chiefs Kingdom. If you live this passion, if you cheer every Patrick Mahomes pass, and if you believe Travis Kelce will still set the season on fire, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're one step closer to 5,000 subscribers, and every click is another voice echoing at Arrowhead. This channel is made by fans for fans. Now, hold on tight, cause Monday's game promises to test Kingdom's red heart. This isn't just another matchup on the NFL 2025 schedule. It's a turning point. The Jaguars have a headline-grabbing defense. They're turning out takeaways, strip sacks, and interceptions at a blistering pace. They're among the best units at generating turnovers this early in the season. And this completely changes how the Kansas City Chiefs need to play. Patrick Mahomes is the maestro, the genius who turns the improbable into the possible. But against a defense that thrives on punishing mistakes, there's no room for hero ball here. Every read needs to be precise, every pass calculated, every snap clean, and the Chiefs know it. The plan is clear. Protect the ball and keep the offense balanced. Because if the Jaguars win the turnover battle, the game changes. And that's no exaggeration. They've already shown they can beat superior teams simply by forcing mistakes. And to make matters worse, the forecast calls for rain, overcast skies, heavy air, and a slippery field. When the weather closes in, the passing game suffers, and the short game becomes the heart of the match. In these conditions, the offense needs to be smart. Short passes, well-distributed runs, and above all, focus on Travis Kelce. He's the system's breather, the rhythm setter. When Kelce is involved early, the offense flows. When he disappears, the Chiefs stall. But there's one detail few realize. The noise in Jacksonville Stadium can be a real factor. Monday Night Football, a full house, electric energy. If the Kansas City Chiefs don't enter the game with a vengeance, the noise turns into pressure. Therefore, the key is to start strong. 2 well-executed drives at the start can silence the stadium and set the tone for the night. Start aggressively, accurately, and control the clock. That's the recipe. And speaking of control, what can happen is what we saw against the Eagles. That deflected ball from Kelce's hands turning into an interception and changing the course of the game. It's this kind of detail that the Jaguars exploit. They don't wait for the error. It's the kind of defense that forces the offense to play chess while the rest of the league plays checkers. That's why Mahomes needs to be cool, patient, and attack the right spaces. Andy Reid knows this matchup is more of a chess game than a shootout. The plan is to use short passes, quick reads, and pre-snap movements to confuse the defense. Early play action, moving passes, crossing routes with Kelce and Rice opening up the middle. It's the style that avoids pressure and strips sacks. The offensive line needs better protection. Josh Allen and Devin Lloyd are coming in aggressively, and any slip-up could be costly. Every protection, every block, every adjustment, everything needs to be executed perfectly. And while the offense strives for fluidity, The Chiefs' defense also carries its mission. Chris Jones must dominate the middle of the line. When he collapses the pocket, Trevor Lawrence feels it, and if Lawrence loses his rhythm, the Jaguars lose their plan. Lawrence is talented, but when pressured early, his accuracy drops. The defense needs to make the ball uncomfortable, pressure without exposing itself, force checkdowns, and of course, contain Travis Etienne, who is the main engine of this offense. But there's another concern: special teams. Harrison Butker can't afford to miss. Missed field goals or poor punts on a wet field are pure poison in tight games. Kansas City needs to play efficiently in all three phases. No silly mistakes. No penalties. This is a duel where discipline trumps brilliance. In the locker room, the mood is one of awareness. The Chiefs know the weight of this night. A win here isn't just another W. It's a breather, a loss, and the noise returns. The criticism about the slow offense, the missed field goals, the secondary's flaws, it all resurfaces. And Mahomes knows it. He's the face of the franchise, and the world is watching. For Jacksonville, the game is about validation. Beating the Kansas City Chiefs at home would be the definitive confirmation that the Jaguars are real, that they're ready to compete in the AFC on equal terms. They're treating tonight like an early playoff, and that mentality makes the game even more dangerous. But don't worry, the Kansas City Chiefs have talent, experience, and winning DNA. The difference lies in the details. Kels has to dominate the middle. The line needs to protect Mahomes. And the running game has to be functional enough to create space. And if all of this aligns, the Chiefs win. But if not, get ready for a long, tense game decided by field goals. And that's when the ghosts of the past return. But it needs to be perfect. Tommy Townsend needs to control the punts because one mistake on special teams could cost the game. Kansas City Chiefs fans know when the team starts hot, they're nearly unbeatable. So pay attention to the first two drives. If the offense moves smoothly, if Kels shows up early, take a deep breath. The game is in control. If the Jaguars dictate the pace, prepare for a mental battle until the final minute. In the end, it all comes down to execution. Monday Night Football is too big a stage for mistakes, and this matchup has all the makings of a modern classic. Mahomes and Kels trying to tame a fierce defense, Andy Reid squaring off against Doug Peterson, Chris Jones dueling with the interior line, and the crowd roaring under the rain and tension. My prediction: Kansas City Chiefs 27, Jacksonville Jaguars 24. A game decided by details, a clash of mentalities. But if the Chiefs are disciplined, protect the ball, and let Mahomes get into rhythm, they'll win. And now the floor is yours, Kingdom. Will the Chiefs win today? Comment YES if you believe they'll win. NO if you think the Jaguars will surprise. And tell me, which play do you want to see first? Kels up the middle, deep shot to Rice. Run up the middle? I read everything. And if you're not yet part of our community, sign up. We are building